Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 45-year-old California resident Jorge Riley is a military veteran. He's also a former Republican Assembly member. He was also out on bail for alleged child abuse when he took part in the Capitol attack, which I'll explain later. In the lead up to January 6th, he posted on Facebook, quote, "I want to be president if we get into civil war. That's why you need me." Riley's additional post made it clear, quote, "I will do whatever my president tells me to," which if he's made president, I guess whatever he says, I don't know. And then when another person messaged Riley and said, quote, "Our enemies won't leave without a war," he replied, quote, "I'm going for the war." So on December 31st of 2020, Riley went and purchased 6 combat throwing knives. And he messaged someone and he said in part, quote, "I just bought new kunai throwing knives and I'm going to do what my president asks." And then before Riley left for DC, he created a will. He actually sent it to someone that he considers to be his sister. And on January 5th, Riley messaged her and said, quote, "I will to you my throwing knives and anything in my house. Bill will have my keys." So on January 6th, he was seen on surveillance video. He illegally entered the Capitol. Along with others in the mob, he entered the suite of then Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. You'll recall staff members were hiding behind locked doors. They were terrified for their lives. So from there, he made his way to the Capitol crypt. He was there with the group that ran the officers in that area. He then went to Statuary Hall, and then in a video taken by another member of the mob, an officer was seen and heard telling everyone, yelling to everybody there that, quote, "This is a federal building. You are trespassing. Get out of the building now." So they can't say they didn't know. Well, Riley didn't leave. Instead, he took another selfie with a statue, and then he moved further into the building. So he ended up in the rotunda, and there was a large contingent of officers who amassed, and then finally, they forcefully removed everyone from the area. So that's when Riley finally left the building. So that was about an hour after he initially entered. But he still didn't leave the Capitol grounds. He still hung around, and another member of the mob recorded him explaining what he did inside the building. He told her, quote, "We breached over there, I think. We broke the windows. We went into the door. We pushed our way in, and then we just kept going further and further. We went there was like a corridor building. We pushed our way to Nancy Pelosi's office, and then we were sitting in there yelling, 'Fuck you, Nancy Pelosi.'" Then Riley admitted that the police were, quote, "trying to push us out of the room. For a long time, there was like a hella long power struggle, and we were pushing back and forth on each other, and we were being crushed, and people were being trampled on and shit, and it was horrible." Riley also admitted that his goal was to stop the certification of the vote. He said, quote, "We stopped the steal because they were in there and they weren't going to stop the steal. So we stopped the steal. We took our country back. Fuck you guys." So following the Capitol attack, the prosecutor says that Riley posted over 150 defiant messages, also photos, videos. He showed no remorse for his actions whatsoever. And on January 14th of 2021, the California Republican Assemblies sent an email to Riley and they demanded that he resign. The email stated in part, quote, "This comes as a direct result of your illegal felony actions at the U.S. Capitol." So Riley responded as you would expect. He called them, quote, "cowardly, do-nothing, unpatriotic bastards." But however, he did resign. He agreed. So Riley was arrested on January 19th of 2021, and he was charged with obstructing an official proceeding, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. In March of 2023, Riley pleaded guilty to the obstruction charge. So he was facing up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the government requested a sentence of only 21 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. This is a complete joke. When you consider his extensive, violent criminal history, this is repulsive. In 2006, Riley took a plea deal for possession of destructive devices and explosives. And as part of that plea deal, the prosecutor agreed to drop charges related to possession of illegal tear gas and child cruelty. Because, that's what's important is the explosives, not the child cruelty. Then in both 2007 and 2008, Riley was convicted both years of driving under the influence. And they say he violated his probation in those cases multiple times. Then in 2016, Riley took another plea for willful cruelty to his child. In 2018, he was arrested but not prosecuted for abusing his wife. Apparently, they got into a fight and he pulled her hair. Then in 2019, Riley was arrested again, also not prosecuted again for, quote, inflicting corporal injury to his spouse/cohabitator. That same year, he was again arrested for child cruelty, resulting in injury. Now, I'm going to give you guys a warning because the details are pretty disturbing. So if you want to fast forward or mute, please do so now. He is accused of bending his child over a concrete wall, putting his arm around the child's neck and choking him. And then he grabbed the child by the hair, pulled him backward, and threw him to the ground. Then while the child's on the ground, they say he kicked and hit him in the head and in the ribs, and then he choked him some more. So that case, unbelievably, is still pending, but those are the allegations. So I'm just hoping this bastard gets a taste of his own medicine in prison. Really do. It's always someone bigger. So, consider this. This is the type of person who represents the Republican Party. Until his arrest for January 6th, he was the president of the Republican Assembly in California. A child-beating, woman-beating drunk driver who, for some reason, had explosive devices. I mean, I totally understand why he's attracted to the MAGA party, right? Why he supports Trump. And that's totally understandable. Makes perfect sense. Your vibe attracts your tribe, birds of a feather, all that. And here's what I find beyond disturbing. This guy has another child with another woman. Apparently, he just had a little girl. She was just born in 2022. And in a letter to the court from his baby mama, she wrote, quote, "If Jorge is not present at home, it will tremendously burden us." What the hell is she thinking? Who would allow him around children ever again? So anyway, U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta presided over Riley's case. I couldn't locate any details about what was said in court, but unfortunately, Riley was sentenced to only 18 months in prison and 2 years of probation. There's no mention of a fine or restitution fee. I assume he was ordered to pay the standard $2,000 in restitution, but this is nowhere near enough. For a guy like this with this criminal history, and considering the fact that he was on bail when he committed this felony offense on January 6th, unreal. I have lost all respect for Judge Mehta. I don't know what the hell is going on with him lately. You guys know I've expressed a lot of concern and anger about how he handled the most recent Oath Keepers sentences. I don't know what is going on, but this is obscene that this man gets only 18 months with that criminal history. So I will let you know when we hear more about this guy, because I guarantee we will, and I will definitely let you know the outcome of that child abuse case. Let's hope that that judge has more common sense and puts him away for a very long time. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please become a donor if possible. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.